reads as follows. Everyone in Minnesota will be able to use convenient, affordable, world-class broadband networks that enable us to survive and thrive in our communities and across the globe. Again, everyone in Minnesota will be able to use convenient, affordable, world-class broadband networks that enable us to survive and thrive in our communities and across the globe. Representative Thiessen, if you don't mind, you can tour around the state a little bit here this summer and fall talking about broadband. If you don't mind making a few remarks about that vision statement. And welcome.
Thank you. So everybody can hear me all right? Okay. Well, thanks for having all of us and for all the work that you've been doing over the last, well, not just a couple of days, but for a lot longer than that. Yeah, we have been out around the state talking to people, which has been very, very valuable. And I guess the first thing that I would say in response to the statement is a comment that we had at a forum we had in Wilmer. So I come from Minneapolis. For the most part, well, I won't make any editorial comments on our providers sometimes, but we haven't, we have good access to internet and broadband and high speed and all of that. But a woman in Wilmer, who also has access because she's in town in Wilmer, said, when I think of this issue, and the reason I'm here today is because the broadband that I have at my house is worth less to me because the folks that don't have it don't have access to it. And it's a two-way street. And I think that really captures at its core what this issue is about for me and for Minnesota. And that we, in fact, are all benefited the broader this broadband gets out to people. And so I think your vision statement, I think, starts to capture that. And I think that's a really positive and important point for us to make. And then you hear, as you travel around the state, I mean, the fact of the matter is, this is a real issue for real people, and it's amazing who shows up and how many people show up, and it's organic. And when you see an issue like that, you know that there's something going on out there. And so the work that you're all doing, and I look forward to the discussion, is really important, and I'll pass this on.
If you don't mind clarifying where exactly you're from and a little more introduction. You've done tremendous work on so many issues at the Capitol.
Thank you for that, Senator Schmidt. And I too echo a lot of what Minority Leader Thiessen has said. As I look at that vision statement, yes, thank you for what you put together, and I think it's a great universal statement. It's a great start. What I read into that, being from Little Falls, Minnesota, and I've been not shy about the fact that I'm a rural economic development legislator. I'm looking at the legacy jobs, and I'm looking at how we keep the families together, how we keep people in the rural areas. Because what's happening is, and I'm the father of 5 kids who are starting to leave, and I want them to come back. And I want them to come back not just because it's nice having my son around or my daughters around. It's nice to have people in the community. It's nice to have people sitting in the pews with me in church. It's nice to have folks in the school districts because that's important. And I know from my work in technology and economic development that people aren't coming back to the same jobs that their parents had when they left. They're coming back to work from home. They're coming back in consulting fashions. They're coming back in ways that we didn't think were possible when I grew up. And a lot of it's going to come from broadband. And Representative Thiessen's absolutely right. And I'll never disagree with this. This is a real issue. If you are sitting at home and you're trying to access forms for taxes or telehealth or even for schools and you can't get to that, that's a real issue. If you're trying to get your daughter or your son's college application out there, that's a real issue, let me tell you. But I will tell you this is what's really interesting, and I'm going to end with this because the world is changing fast. I mean, I was a geek when I grew up. I know it's hard to see that now in me, but my wife and I were helping my daughter with her application. We're like, you know what? Bring your application. We're going to read that. We're going to go through it and just give you that other read. She's like, no, I'm fine, Dad. Like, no, we're going to help you with the college application. No, I'm going to do this fine, Dad. Don't worry about it. So we're in the car and we're driving, and she's doing it on her iPhone. And she did great. She got accepted every college, and I looked at her and I said, I could never do that. But that's the world they live in. I mean, she's doing applications on a less than a 5-inch screen and going, yeah, I'm good. So if we don't extend that out to every opportunity we can, we're cutting off the base of employers and employees that we need.
Senator Jensen, if you don't mind.
Thank you. I'm Vicki Jensen. I represent Senate District 24, which is parts of Rice, Dodge, Steele, and Waseca counties. And I'm really happy to be here today. I didn't know this was going to be an opportunity for me, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity. When I look at the vision statement, I know these are very important. My time on the school board, we spent a lot of time looking at how do we want to visionaries say to people what it is that we're doing and what we're spending so much time on. What struck me at the beginning is when it says able to use. And I know the Blandon Foundation and the Governor's Task Force on Broadband has talked a lot about even if we get the access and people don't have the ability to sign up or to actually use the systems or the things that are available, because of the access, we need to concentrate on that too. And I'm glad to see that in there. I think that applies as I read it. And then the other thing is, when you talk about world class, we had this in our mission statement in the school board when we had the conversation. It really opens up what does it look like, what does it mean, and it's not just a set goal of so many, what do you call them, megabytes uploaded, so many downloaded. You're not necessarily looking at that. You're giving yourself an opportunity to be a little more flexible and understand that those things change. And if we put just standards of amounts, we will lose the ability to move more forward more quickly than if we put standards right in statute. So that's my impression of the.
Thank you, Senator Jensen. I should mention she's filling in for Senator Bach today, who was called to a meeting with the governor. So thank you, Senator Jensen, for pinch hitting here. Representative Baker.
Thank you, Senator. And again, my name is Dave Baker. I'm a representative from Willmar, Candiota County. I represent most of the county. Candiota County is one of our most underserved counties in the whole state of Minnesota, with about 42,000 people, and I live in it. And so, as a first-time freshman, I'm a small business owner, so I get internet where I'm at. But if it's down, I cannot take credit cards in my restaurant or my hotel. So I know the impact of broadband. I came here I've been here with you for the last couple of days, and just again, I want to catch up quickly, because as a representative, I don't have a lot of time. I can't count on more than 2 years, or two sessions. So that's it, and I have one chance to make a difference, and I'm currently the vice chairman of the Jobs and Affordable Energy Committee, which is where broadband is to come from. Now, again, I shared a lot of conversations this year with our committee. I was very happy with our overall bill, but I also said publicly I did not like having no money for broadband. That's not what I wanted. It was a bigger bill, but I also know that we have work to do, and I've shared that with leadership now. And I will tell you, we're going to do good work, and I will tell you we have their support. So this, as Margaret said yesterday, we have a 2-year window. We are at halftime. So I want us to be looked at and judged over a 2-year period, not a halftime, or we don't look at the win-loss for Vikings on a first half basis. So I would hope that seeing us here with our commitment and our energy level to expand broadband, I will tell you, I, along with our colleagues up here, I want to be one of the champions that helps move this forward. It's too important, and I stand ready to really get to work. So